Hey, gang, it's Bob from CGCM Rock Radio, welcoming you into another edition of Rock Talk. Please do us a favor, drop us a comment, let us know what you think. Hit that bell icon to stay up to date, and also click those like, share, and subscribe buttons to keep up to date on all things Rock Talk. Well, this time around, a real treat for you. We were able to catch up with Mango, the drummer for the band Ablaze. They've got a new album out. It's called Sink Your Teeth In. It is absolutely amazing. I am positive this one is going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists at the end of this year, just in about a month's time. And it's so cool that I was able to sit down and chat with him. It was a fun chat. This guy is an absolute blast to talk to. I think you're going to like it. I had a lot of fun. I know he did as well. So let's step into the Rock Talk studio, sit down and have a chat with Mango from Ablaze on this edition of Rock Talk right here on CGCM Rock Radio. And as promised, we are chatting with Mango from the band Ablaze. Welcome aboard Rock Talk, my friend.
Oh, hi. Thanks so much for having me.
It is awesome to have you here. Gotta say, your album Sink Your Teeth In, probably going to be on a lot of top 10 lists of 2025, mine included. Well done, my friend.
No, thank you. It's been a long journey back from coming out of COVID restrictions here. That's step one to being able to release an album and get it all out to everybody. So I'm really, really happy to hear that it's been so well received.
Absolutely. So what was the creative process like for stepping into this album?
So we always what I found with Ablaze was the songs that really stood out were always the songs that we really wrote collaboratively. Like all of us, for the most part, are multi-instrumentalists. We've all got the ability to write guitar riffs or lyrics or bass lines or whatever it is. And so on the last album, yeah, there were songs that were collaborative and there were songs where someone would come in and go, "Hey, I've got this song," and we really wouldn't change very much. And they'll, I'm really proud of our first album as well. But with Sink Your Teeth In, I know I'm one of those people that sometimes will like hyperfixate and just write the whole song. So what I tried to do this time more so was if I came up with an idea, yeah, come up with a riff, come up with a verse, come up with a chorus, whatever it is, and then leave it. Stop, put it aside, and then when it came time to start going, right, how are we putting this album together, all these pieces got thrown onto a pile basically. And we went from there. Everybody had a say in everything. That's leads to a lot of arguments, but it's kind of a trial by fire. So we don't release anything, finalize anything until all five members are happy. So with this one, every song was really a collaborative effort. Even, I mean, there's one song on there that was mostly written by one person, but at the same time, it took everybody to get it off the ground and turn it into what it is now. So yeah, the creative process for this has been slower than just punching out a bunch of songs. And we're not really one of those bands that'll just like write 20 songs and then pick the 10 best ones. We write, if we've got an idea, we're passionate about it, we will bash our heads against a wall or we'll walk away and come back as many times as it takes to get something that we're actually happy with and proud of. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm
No.
the drummer. I hit things with sticks. Electronic stuff is lost on me for the most part.
That is a
So,
great answer. That is a great answer. But speaking of hitting things with sticks, did you guys in putting together this album, was there that one song that no matter what you guys tried, it almost needed to be hit with a stick to for the song to come together? It was just so frustrating, but at the end, it was just like, oh yeah, that's it. That's totally it.
yeah. The song that I think we actually struggled with the most out of the 8 or 9 songs that are on this album, depending on which version you've got, would probably be Different Kind of Nightmare.
Hmm.
Different Kind of Nightmare is really, despite the fact that this album's got, heavier songs than we've ever written or more ambitious. I mean, well, it finishes with a 7-minute gospel epic. That wasn't easy. But Different Kind of Nightmare, because it's just that slightly glammier kind of thing. Even though we played Glam Fest here in Australia and we get put on with glam bands a fair bit, we're not really a glam band. So going down that road was definitely something that was very different for us. And we tried and we did this and we did that, and different people came in with different ideas and different directions. And honestly, until the master came back, like we finished with it in the studio, we went, oh, okay, like we're happy with this. It's gonna be an album track. I don't think this is gonna be a single. And then we finished, got it mastered, and whatever it was in the mastering process that just kind of lifted something a little bit. And we all sat back and went, there it is. Okay. So yeah, we definitely had one song that we just couldn't figure out, but at the same time, we also didn't figure it out. It was the wonders of the people that we work with that managed to get it all together for us. And yeah, it ended up being the third single we released. And we released that just before we played the Glam Fest shows here in Australia. And it was massively well received.
Excellent, excellent. And what can people expect when they go to see Ablaze live?
Mayhem. We are not the band that stands there at the front of the stage going, look how cool we are, and we hold our instruments or whatever it is. We go mental. We, in the best possible use of the word, we jump around. I'm sitting down and I am usually soaked head to toe by the end of the second song. It's all about having fun. We are absolutely adamant on making sure that everybody there is in it together. Doesn't matter if we are playing some local dive to 30 people or a festival to 3,000. Everybody is in. We're all here to have fun. We'll get everybody yelling. We'll get everybody singing along. We will make sure everybody feels like they're part of it because we're having fun. Yes, we've got some more serious songs and we touch on topics that are not to be joked with and stuff like that. But we are about having fun. The show is about people go to a gig. No, people don't go to a show to be sad. They go to a show to enjoy it. So if we are like, we also want to enjoy it, especially if we have to play the same set every night for 3 or 4 weeks straight. Like we better enjoy it.
That's
So
right.
that's what we do. And it's get to the front and have as much fun as possible with us.
So, off the new record, what is the most fun song to play live for
Uh
you, anyway?
okay, for me, it's Unleash at the moment, and it changes. But yes, I have ADHD. The focus doesn't stay in one spot for long. The At the moment, it's
Squirrel.
Unleash. Yeah, exactly. It's if we had them in Australia, I'd be in trouble. Unleash is the one at the moment that I because the just because the drums change so much in the song between the sections. I even just what I'm playing in the verse and the way that I can play it on the kit, I'm just moving constantly. I basically had to get to a stage at the last few shows where maybe, yeah, it's usually the second or third song in the set at the moment. So what I try and do is maybe just as the guitars are plugging in and everything before we start the set, I'll scull a Red Bull just so it kicks in at the right moment, or Unleash is going to kill me because I hit very hard and speed doesn't change that. So it's one of the fastest songs drum wise that we have. In terms of, I think as a unit off this new album, the most fun ones to play would either be Gasoline or Next Train Out. They're both very much Ablaze songs. That's very much
Mhm.
our sound going back through our catalog. Next Train Out, I think is probably the proudest I've ever been of a chorus. These huge 3-part harmonies, and I get to sing some lead towards the end and things like that too. But it's just fun. It's a very fun song. The crowd, fans have responded to it so well. I don't think we've ever had a single take off the way that Next Train Out did. It seems to get played all over the world in the
It-
first few weeks.
and it is a
So
fantastic song.
thank you.
You're quite welcome. Now, you kind of alluded to something there. You said that you sing some lead on near the end of the song. How often wondered, never had a chance to ask a drummer, how much trickier is that to drum and sing lead at the same time, as opposed to like say playing guitar and singing lead at the same time?
I think honestly, I think it's about on par
Yeah.
because so the good thing about drums is in a lot of instances, yeah, it is for at least a section, it'll be a repetitive pattern. So depending on what I'm singing, I can kind of switch one or the other to autopilot, depending on what I'm doing.
Okay.
And again, the ADHD helps. I could focus on a couple of things at once. It's a bit of a superpower with that. But um, I actually have to seriously practice when it comes to uh, playing guitar and singing.
Okay.
So, when I kind of take over the melody line at the end of Next Train Out, and Danny's doing his high bits and his kind of improv bits, I'm sitting on a cymbal and I'm just doing the beat and singing the chorus, and I know the chorus line back to front, so I can just belt it out, and that's awesome. Uh, in songs like off our first album, there's a song called Long Way Home,
Mhm.
where in the pre-choruses, me and Danny trade vocals. And all of a sudden I'm singing lead. And so I'm like, all right, I have to make sure I'm singing the right thing here. I can't just sing long high notes and hope for the best. Uh, and so that took a little bit more work. But again, on our first album, very, very late in the piece, we added a song called Bottom of My Bottle, which I play guitar on and sing. And that took more work than anything else because I can play a bit of guitar, but it is not my first instrument by a mile. And so having to get this guitar thing together and play it and then learn how to sing and make sure I'm not stuffing up some very overcomplicated chord patterns that I did myself.
Mm.
um, I had to figure that out, and it took a lot more work. When I first brought the song to the band and said, "Hey guys, what do you reckon of this?" I couldn't do both. I
No.
quite literally had recorded the guitar part on my phone and I held it up to the microphone and sung along with it. And at that time, that was the best I could do. This was also after we had finished pre-production on that album.
Okay.
This was a last minute addition like never before, but it was that took more work. I don't think there's been a song we've played or we've written that I've had to practice more than that one. And
So
guitarists who can play a bit of drums, it'd probably be the opposite.
yeah. So if somebody came to you and said you had to include 5 cover songs in your set for the rest of your career and they could never ever change. Right now, what would those 5 cover songs be?
So we've got a couple of covers that we play fairly often.
Right.
Our oldest and most favorite cover is actually it's a song by an Australian band called the Screaming Jets. It's called Better. They
Mhm.
were really, really big here in Australia. They should have been much, much bigger overseas. We love the track. That'll always be in there. We've particularly when we've been overseas in Australia, it's a little bit of a cliche to cover AC/DC
Yeah.
because everybody does it.
Yeah.
But we've played TNT and Highway to Hell, but I think my favorite that we've done has been Walk All Over You. It's full speed. it's
Yeah.
it's crazy energy live, and it's everything we're about. I would love to play Back from Cali by Slash and Miles Kennedy. That is one of my
There
favorite songs in the world. As long as I get to sing the lyrics and
you
stuff with
go.
with Danny Israel and trade some of the parts. Um, geez, I don't know. What other songs? We've played Love Gun a fair few times. That always gets a good reaction. What else? Geez, it's hard to pick. We're really bad with covers, not because we can't play them, but because we can't pick them.
Oh,
Everybody has always got a song they really want to do or a song that they really don't want to do. So
well, that,
it's
that
been
that's four.
been
We'll
tricky.
we'll leave it at that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. So, do you have that one song that comes on the radio, or it might come on your iTunes or whatever, and you just go, "Damn, I wish I wrote that song."
Yeah, Back from Cali by a mile. The first time I heard Back from Cali, I'm listening. I misheard the timing at the beginning.
Right.
And so when it's that kind of cut off guitar bits, there's lots of little breaks
Yep.
and stuff. And it was only when the lyrics kicked in and all of a sudden everything came together at one. And when he hits that, oh, Lord, I went, whoa, what is this? And I still remember it because I'd woken up after a friend's 21st birthday or something. I was on the other side of Melbourne. I was an hour and a half from home. I was not in good nick. And I had to drive home and I sober by that stage, which is why I felt so sick. And I got in the car and I chucked on this album I've been meaning to listen to, and that song came on, and that was the only song I listened to for an hour and a half. It was just back to the start, back to the start, back to the start, sitting there going, the feel, the groove, the harmonies, the lyrics, the themes. That song for myself, and if I wanted to say a song that I wish I'd written for all the uh, acclaim that's come with it, Blackbird by Alter Bridge. Is that song is a masterpiece.
Absolutely. I can't disagree with you on that. That is
Hmm.
just that is an amazing song. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to a band that's just coming out of the gates, just starting out now that you wish you had have gotten back when you were starting?
Uh, there's a lot of people that are going to tell you what you have to do. There's a lot of people that will tell you that their way is the only way that will work. It's not the case, but you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to love your songs. If you're writing stuff and you're writing it for the sake of writing it and you don't like it, you can be as successful as you want, but you're not going to enjoy it. Have fun and make sure you've got a good team. Being the one person in the band that does absolutely everything and everybody just has to be where they have to be when they have to be there with all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it makes decision making easier, but it's not what you want.
Mm.
Have a team, have everybody responsible for different things, and have a team around you that you can trust. You know, if someone's running the social media, if someone's running the finances, God, the social media is so important. It's not funny. I hate all of it, and yet I run it because it has to be done. And it's just the way that you communicate with your fans now. Talk to people. Don't be one of those bands that's too cool to respond to comments and things like that. Establish relationships with your fans. And, you know, with the way the world is right now, I don't know if there's ever going to be another AC/DC or another Guns N' Roses, but at the same time, you don't have to be. You have to be whatever your band is to the best of that ability.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good piece of advice. Now, one of our sponsors here on CGCM Rock Radio is Iron Maiden Trooper Beer. And as everybody knows, Yannick, the third guitarist in Iron Maiden, is the guy that always falls off the stage or trips over a guitar cable or whatever. Could trip on a seam in the stage. Have you guys ever had one of those nights or had one of those moments where somebody's just down on their luck and it just, if they're going to fall, they're going to fall, they're going to drop something or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. So the most recent was at a show we played last weekend, where we played a relatively new venue in Sydney, where the stage is a half pipe.
Oh,
So you play in the middle of this quite low half pipe, and the sound is not the best, but it's so much fun. And our rhythm guitarist decided he was sitting up on the edge because we're a five-person band. This wasn't a
yep.
particularly big half pipe, so we were kind of squished in. And he's sitting up the top on one of the edges of the half pipe and just decided mid-song to just slide down it. I don't know what possessed him. Beer, I presume. And he's gone, he's a big bloke and he has not considered conservation of momentum and has gone straight into the side of the drum kit.
Oh,
Luckily, nothing collapsed. I grabbed the cymbal and kept playing and looked at him, and he's on the ground holding his guitar, still playing. He's looking at me like, I think I'm about to get in trouble. And I was like, what was that? and we're trying to play. We're still laughing, but the most insane one was where was that? Oh, we played in Adelaide at
Right.
a venue there we absolutely love called the Woodshed. It looks like
Yeah.
every man cave's dream. We love this venue. And it's a miracle that the owner Ace has ever let us play there again after this. It's got a fantastic drum riser, nice and high, because everybody likes to block me from photos. And it's just a couple of inches too narrow. And
Oh.
halfway through what would have been our second song on the night, and it was cold. It would have been, yeah, end of winter last year, and I'm trying to warm up before this set, and nothing is working because it is still a big warehouse. Halfway through this second set, my crash cymbal just had jumped along a little bit and went straight off the side of the drum riser. The cymbal, shout out to Soultone Cymbals, who I'm endorsed by, who obviously make a very good quality. This thing went straight through the main power cable to the stage.
Oh no.
Now, I don't mean it bumped it, cleft. And all the lights went out. All the guitars went out, no vocals, nothing. The
Oh.
back of the venue was all still lit up. We're playing, and it took me a second because obviously you can still hear the drums. And everyone's looking around worried. The soundy looks like he's about to have a heart attack. And the singer Danny's just gone into kind of instincts, has just gone, drum solo from Mango. And I've gone, are you kidding? All right. So we're in the middle of a song. Lucky it wasn't a part of this song. The song's called This Bitch Bites. There's a part of the song where the guitars, everything really dropped down for kind of a quiet bit. It happened right there. The last cymbal hit was when it happened. And so we've got to this quiet bit. And I've just started building and doing a big solo and stuff. We get to the end. My legs are seizing up because I'm not warm. My arms, I'm running out of steam. Bang, hit the cymbals. I hear, not yet. Oh, I keep going. Sound tech is running around the front of the kit trying to look for something. Can't figure out what's happened. Still don't get to the end. Nah. Ah. This drum solo must have gone for 6 or 7 minutes, which was murder.
Oh God.
And finally get to the end of it. And the lights all come back and goes, eh, and we somehow managed to build back up into the song as if we'd meant it. And if it wasn't for the fact that the whole crowd there watched the whole thing happen, we would have gotten away with it. But we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for 100 eyewitnesses. After the set, we kind of what happened, and the sound tech goes, I have been a sound tech for 20 years. I have never seen that happen. Look, and dragged me over, and here's the wire, and just a perfect silver circle in the middle where it's gone straight through the wiring. He goes, I don't know how you didn't just set the stage on fire. And I was like, was that an Ablaze joke? And he's like, no, but I like it.
Ah.
And it got mentioned. I was on a radio show in Adelaide not long ago, and the owner of the venue was a guest on the show at the time. And they brought up, and they were like, hey, could you tell that story? And I heard him in the background go, huh? I was like, "Ooh, I hope I've been forgiven."
Well, that is definitely a Spinal Tap moment. Wow. Holy
Yep,
cow. All right. So before we wrap this up, that was amazing. I like to do this little thing called This or That. It's just a series of 5 or 6 rapid fire, top of the head questions, nothing to do with music, just a little bit of fun. If you're ready, we'll launch
yep.
into it. Dog person or cat person?
Dog,
Pizza or burger?
pizza,
Road trip or plane ride?
road trip,
Texting or phone call?
phone call,
Pick your superpower, super strength or the ability to fly.
fly.
And then
Absolutely.
this is the big divider right here. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, I'm Italian. Absolutely not. I
Oh,
literally had leftover barbecue chicken pizza that I had specifically asked for no pineapple off not an hour or two ago. Not a chance at all.
all right. And my apologies then from every Canadian, because the Hawaiian pizza was
Came from
invented by
Canada. Yeah.
Canadians. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I don't mind. It gets talked about a lot here as well. It's kind of the meme of the moment. But yeah, I don't eat whatever you want on pizza. It doesn't bother me.
Hey, any pizza is better than having no pizza. That's my theory.
Absolutely.
So what's your website? What's your socials so fans can keep in touch?
So we are at Ablaze Band on everything: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on a YouTube channel with all of our videos and a whole bunch of web series and things we've done before. Ablazeband.com is where you'll find all of our information, upcoming shows and everything like that. But we post on the socials all the time too. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the road somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank you very much for joining us, Dan, on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're quite welcome. And I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you again next time on another edition of Rock Talk right here with CGCM Rock Radio.